Good evening, Jedi traders. It's Sunday night, and I wanted to go over Friday afternoons or Friday's day session crude oil session because something kind of interesting happened. And let me show you. This is a chart of crude. I went ahead and replayed it and stopped it here. It's right before, it's about 8 o'clock, so it's right after New York Open. You'll notice that the Murray Math lines are already set up for me. I've already got my spots for my short up here. Since I've already hit up here, I do expect and it started coming down. I do expect it to come back up in this range. Uh, Maybe just touch this or go a little bit past it, but not go very far into the resistance range before it turns back around. And the reason why I say it is because it's already hit down here in the support zone twice. It's come up here to resistance, to the bottom of resistance, which is 54.30. Almost touched it, touched the bottom of the London high. And I expect it to come back up in here with another drive. If it comes back, then it may even push beyond that. But once it comes back beyond or back lower than that lower resistance level, then I expect to get into a short with my stop right up at the resistance zone, well, 54.39, 54.40 area. Okay, so I'm not going to get, well, actually, I guess I can. Let me go ahead and set a sell limit order here since I'm going to set this up 54.30, right? And my buy stop would be right in here. And let's see, where's my target? There's my target way down there. Okay, my target would be right down here at support, 53.32. Okay, now I can erase all these other lines because I've got my trade set up. I would take one off here, that major support resistance, if I was trading two contracts, which I'm not, but you would typically take one contract off here, and then move your stop to break even at this point, and then let it go down to its target. If it goes past, oh well. At least you've made your money. You made your money for the day, and that would be 53.52 to 54.30. So what's that? About $800 per contract. Okay, now let's go through this because I think you're going to find it very interesting. Uh, exactly what happened. Notice this oversold line 53.32, and I'm going to put a line right there. Sometimes the Murray Math lines will shift around, but they do come back. They will come back to the original, and so that's why I like to look at them at the beginning. I've also got some software that recalculates my pivot points, support and resistance for me. So if, for example, price action would go outside of the Murray Math lines here, then I would, I've got some upper and lower targets. Um, Fortunately, we didn't have to, or unfortunately, we didn't have to deal with that today. Friday, I guess, was a fairly light trading day. So let's go ahead and replay this guy. If you'll notice, price action came as expected, came back up here. It came down to the range, the top of the range here, bounced off the top of the range. 89 EMA is still up. VWAP's still here. It's still angling up. So I did expect it, or I do expect it to come back up in here, up in this range somewhere. I'm going to move that back down to 54.29 since that was um, the previous high. And let's see what it does. Okay, we're at 850. We're almost at market open for crude, pit open for crude. Okay, we just got filled at 54.32, so it's going down. I hit my major support resistance. Automatically move my stop. It moved my stop to break even here. That was that was a very quick drop. But this is a typical when it drops very quickly. I typically see it come from resistance right down to major support resistance right here, the major SR line, and then sometimes bounce back up, but not quite up to my fill. And then it will dump. Now you'll see it dumping. Dump, 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 dump. Here we go. That was at the. You'll notice. Let me pause it here. You'll notice that the low here just touched the stall weak reversal line. That stall weak reversal line, that one, you'll notice it did the exact same thing up here. Hit stall weak reversal, bounce back down. Hit stall weak reversal, bounces back up. So you'll see that those are retracement. The stall weak reversal lines are very often retracements. So when price action hits those stall weak reversal lines, they will very often retrace, and then those are retracement points. They'll retrace and then come back down the original direction. So let's go ahead. Here we go. It'll probably go up into the it went up into the range. Fiddle around. Still has not come anywhere near. And it's not come anywhere near the support zone. So I know it's going to come back down here. I know it's going to come back down. I see this every single day. Now the Murray Math lines have shifted, but see, I'm still holding on to those buy limit. I still hold on to my fill down here. I'm going to ignore the fact that they shifted. Okay. Now you'll see them shift again here in a minute as the day goes on. This is 10:30. Came down to that oversold, which was that support resistance line. See, the Murray Math line shifted up simply because price action went out of the square where it was defined. So it went ahead and redrew the new square. It'll pop out here in a minute. And it'll redraw the Murray Math lines originally to what they were. It's one of the reasons why I like to go ahead and take a look at Murray Math lines at market open to find out, okay, what are they doing, and then set up my trades at that particular point. That way, if the Murray Math line shift around, so what? Okay. Well, there we go. It just popped down for $780. Popped down through support. And remember, I had this line down here at the oversold mark, 53.32. Very interesting. Watch this. And it'll fiddle around. Bam, it hits 53.32. Okay. And people at this point, I was sitting in a trading room on Friday, and people at this point are going, well, it's going to go down, going to go down. Well, I was pretty confident it wasn't going to go down much farther than that. And the reason why was because that's an oversold line. When price action hits the oversold line, statistically, there's an 85% chance that the price action is going to bounce at the oversold line. If it goes down to reversal on especially strong momentum, there's a 98% chance, 95 to 98% chance that it will bounce there and come back up, at least temporarily, if not a total reversal. Caught everybody in the room by surprise except me. I was the only one that spoke up. But you can see right down here where the oversold line was, and and what did it do? What did it do? Here we go. Okay. So what I would do at this particular point is at the 53.52, I want to put a buy limit order in. Darn it. You put the buy limit order in there. I think it was a buy stop. I made a mistake. It was a buy stop. So the buy stop order should have been right here. So let me just put a buy stop order in there, just for the heck of it. I'm gonna leave these. I'll just leave these stops where they are. Okay, I want to put sell limit order. I want to put my limit order 1 at major support resistance. I'm now trading 2 contracts, which I didn't want to do, but oh well, it is what it is. Let's put this up at the stall weak reversal line, or sorry, at the resistance. If I have to, I'll move it down to stall weak reversal. It all depends. All depends on what price action does. Um, you'll notice that it did bounce at the stall week reversal. So that wouldn't be a bad target to do, especially since trending is down for the day. The trend has basically been down. You can see that here. So I don't think it's going to go back up there. So I can put my fill up there. So let's I'm just going to leave these here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Comes up. Okay, it filled me. So I'm in for 2 contracts. Comes up, hits major support resistance. Bam, I got filled there. And let's see, how far is it going to go? Major pivot maybe. And you know, if worse come to worse, you can always get out at that major support resistance line. You know, it is what it is. So here we go. Ah, got filled. Okay. And then for the rest of the session, 11:45. Okay, so we're up like $1,900 right there. So that wouldn't have been a bad day trading. And that was on, actually, that last one was on 2 contracts, but I didn't intend that. I just selected the wrong order to do that. But that was the interesting part of the day, was it came right down to oversold. And if it hadn't, I would have expected it to go through reversal, or go down to reversal. I did have a target low down near my buy stop, which is 53.13. That number has been showing up in the Murray math levels quite a bit. 53.13 either as support or resistance. So 53.13 is a fairly important number for the market. Anyway, see, it came down to the range. Came down to range as it often does, top of the range. It'll bounce off. If it penetrates the top of the range, it's basically going down to major support resistance, sometimes a little bit, sometimes down at the bottom of the range. So we'll sit here and watch this thing. And it's let's see, I'm getting into 1 o'clock now. The crude oil market pit closes at 2:30 Central Eastern time. So I try not to trade after that. If I have a trade running, then I'll go ahead and let it run. But I will not get into a trade after 2:30. The automation software is set up right now to exit a trade at 2:30. So yeah, it looks like it's going down 15. Actually, that's 1:30. Actually, 2:25. It's programmed to get out of the trade. See, even if you had not gotten out up here at that target high, it did hit the target high, didn't it? Even if it did not get out, you didn't get out up here. Even if it pulled back, you're still in a no loss trade. You're still going to make money. It's just, you know, how much money do you want, are you going to make? You know, how much money is the market going to let you have? Once your stop was moved to break even plus 2, it didn't matter. You know, it comes back down in your face. You're gonna at least, you know, break even, make $10 off the deal, which is better than if you hadn't taken the trade. So bouncing off the range, bouncing off the bottom of the range. So for the rest of the session, I expect it just to bounce back and forth here. Okay, 14.25, which is right in here, 53.97. That's where the computer would have closed out the trade. If you know, I hadn't made that extra $200 here. So you would have been looking at $1,700 instead of $1,900 for the day, right there. At the end of the day, you'll see bounced around, and it just came back down for the end of the day. So kind of fiddled around after pit close. So not a tremendous amount of action, but it did come back down. So at the end of the day, it stopped and it was right in here, right about the range bottom, major support resistance, somewhere in here. That's where it wound up. And let's see if I can. I'll go ahead and stop it down here. At the end of there we go. It went way back down. So we'll let her go. Let me crank it up just a little bit. Get it to the market close. I know everybody just wants to sit here and watch the thing squiggle around. It'll just be a minute more, and we'll be at the end of the day, and we'll see. There we go, 53.62, and there's cash market close, and market close. And here we go. This was Friday. Well, let's sit there and let that thing go until market close. Okay. So that was okay. Now of course we're getting into Sunday. What I expected this thing to do, and what I'm looking at it to do, is pop up in this range here, and then because the trend is down, I expected to pop up to the 89 EMA, somewhere around here, major support resistance, 89 EMA, somewhere down here, and then go ahead and pop back down. So, and that's what prompted this decision. Here's where we are in the market. Basically, it popped back. It came down here. It popped back up as I expected. Okay, and now it may or may not go back up. 53.77. So I did get into a short right back up here, and I expect it to come back down to at least 53.52, which is the top of support. So anyway, but that's another video, and I will go back over that tomorrow. But anyway, I did want to show you that big old bounce down here at 53.32, which was very interesting. Nobody believed it in the room. I'd called it in the room and said it was going to bounce here. Nobody believed it, and it certainly did, simply because it was at the oversold line, and I knew that it was a fairly good chance of it bouncing at that particular point, and it bounced at that exact particular point. So behold the power of Murray math lines. Anyway, see you guys later. Have an absolutely wonderful trading day tomorrow, and as always, trade green.